Welcome back. My name is Dr. Carl Baird, and today I'll be showing you the top 5 glute activation exercises. So if I had to pick one muscle group that I would say is the most important for building a strong and pain-free body, it would have to be the glutes. These are also known as your hip muscles. It's a complex of 3 muscles that surround your hips and are very important for a number of reasons that help limit impact that goes through your foot, your ankle, your knee, your hips, your lower back, pretty much all joints of the lower body. And that's why it's going to be really important that we know how to activate this muscle group to start building strength here. Now, unfortunately, our modern society involves a lot of sitting, and what happens when we're sitting is we don't need to use our glutes. So what can happen is this muscle group can become disengaged, which then can create problems when we go to be more active. So what I'm hoping to do with these exercises is simply teach you how to engage or activate your glutes so that they can be strong and functional to perform whatever you need them to do. So let's go ahead and get started. The first exercise is called the glute squeeze and release, one of my favorite exercises to activate the glutes and help regain control of this muscle group. So you can perform this exercise standing and sitting. I'll show you how to perform laying on the ground. All you're going to do is lay on your back with your feet straight. First thing we want to do, we want to squeeze our glutes as tight as we can, and what you'll notice is your hips will raise up off the ground. Now from here, I want to keep my right glute contracted and just release the left. And so you'll see your left hip starts to drop while your right glute stays contracted, and then you're going to relax the right glute. And so both hips are down. Next, what we're going to do is squeeze those glutes again, and you're going to do the same, but on the opposite side. So it's going to be keeping your left glute contracted while you slowly release the right. And so this is going to really help you not only activate the muscles, but control each muscle group. So give this one a try. It is much harder than it looks. The next exercise is called the glute raise. To perform this exercise, we're going to start on our hands and our knees. We want to line our hands right up under our shoulders, knees right up under the hips, and then keeping a nice, what's called a 90-90 position of our leg. All we're going to do is raise that leg up until, again, we feel that nice contraction in the glute here, and bring it back down. Now, the only thing you have to watch out for with this exercise is that you don't lift so high that you start to twist at the low back. So what I mean by that is I'm not lifting so high that I start to twist. I'm lifting just enough to get that glute activation here and coming back down. So there you have it. That is the glute raise. The third exercise is going to be the glute bridge. I feel like I teach this exercise on every video that I make, but because it really is safe and effective at not only activating the glutes, but building strength in the glutes as well. And like I mentioned, the glutes are probably one of the most important muscles for a strong, pain-free body. So to perform, we're simply on our back, hands out at 45. We're going to press through our feet to bring our hips up, again, until we feel that activation in our hips. Now, the only thing to watch out for here is if our feet get a bit too far out and we try to bridge here, you're actually going to get more of a hamstring activation. So all you need to do is pull your feet in a little bit closer to perform the bridge, and you really want to feel it again in these hip muscles and not so much the hamstrings there. So there you have it. That's the glute bridge. The fourth exercise that's great for activating your glutes is called the hip thrust. All the hip thrust is, it's a more advanced variation of the bridge, which gets more activation and helps you build more strength in that glute muscle. So to perform, all you need is a box, a bench, a chair, a couch, something that you can lean your back on. So I'm going to line up my back, put my elbows up on the surface as well. And similar to the bridge, feet flat on the floor, press through those feet to bring those hips up into the air. And again, really squeeze at the top to get that glute activation and come back down. Now, one thing you can do if you're not feeling that activation on either the bridge or this hip thrust is try switching to a single leg variation. So similar movement. Now, instead of pressing through both feet, I'm just going to press through one. So what it looks like is now before I press up, I'm just going to lift one leg in the air and press through one. To come up to the top, it's a lot more difficult, but I can definitely feel a lot more activation in that glute. So if you're not quite feeling that activation with the two-footed variation in the bridge and the hip thrust, give the single leg a try and see how it goes. And the fifth of our best glute activation exercises, we're gonna go with another one of my favorites. It's the banded hip hinge. So learning how to hip hinge is one of the most important ways to really learn to engage this posterior chain, which includes the hamstrings and the glutes. Adding a little band to it adds a little bit of resistance so you can really get to activating those glutes. So to perform, I'm holding on to the edges of the band, putting it on the ground, trying to step right in the middle, return to the standing position, holding the bands here. Then all I'm going to do, loose knees, straight spine, just until I feel tension along my hamstrings and into my glutes, and stand back up. Feel that tension in the hamstring and glutes, and stand back up. And that is the banded hip. So there you have it. That is the top 5 glute activation exercises. Go ahead and give these a try and really pay attention to how you're able to really engage these glutes so that you can start building strength in this muscle group, which again is really important for building a strong and pain-free body. It's going to save you from lots and lots of months and years of joint pain. So as always, my name is Dr. Carl Baird. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I do read them all and I'm happy to respond. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, it's Dr. Baird here. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page to catch all our videos designed to help you build the strength and confidence to live active, healthy, and happy lives. You won't find it anywhere else.